let's try this, see how it goes. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while now. I've been holding off because, well, I want my desk clean, and I have come to the conclusion that that will never happen. So basically this is what you get. You get a messy desk. I always have a messy desk. Let me show you my desk. You can see it here. Look at that desk. You can see how messy it is. And no matter what I do, for some reason, it always seems to get messier. I'm going to sit here and eat as well. Having some yogurt because, well, I'm hungry. So, but this is something I wanted to do. I wanted to do a blog, talk about who I am, why I'm doing this, what turns me on about flying, and basically give you guys an idea of what goes on in the life of Chile Weather. First of all, my name is Matt Bardeen. I'm a professor at the University of Talca. I'm wearing my official University of Talca shirt. You probably can see it here. Ooh, look at that, University of Talca. I work in the Department of Computer Science for the School of Civil Engineering and Computation, Ingeniería Civil en Computación. And I've been working there for about 10 years. Recently, probably about 3 years ago, I had a student come to me, Francisco Fuentes. He came to me and said, "Profe, I want to do something related to UAVs." And I had another student previously that wanted to do some work with UAVs, and I never had one. I never had one for him to work with. So Francisco came to me, said, "I want to work with UAVs." So I went to Hobby King and I bought all the pieces to put the quad together. And I put it together and tried to fly it, and it didn't fly very well. In fact, the first flight I actually scratched the dean's car with the quadcopter. And that was after a whole bunch of fiddling and futzing about trying to get it to work. So the first flight was not very good. Yaw was completely uncontrollable. I found out later that I had messed up and set yaw settings in multi-wii badly. And this was in 2013, I think. So that's how I got started with quads. And while I was playing around with quads, I was looking on YouTube on how to fix things. I ran across a video from Juice 70. And probably the newer people don't know who Juice 70 was, but back in the day, he was the man. He is the man still. His flights are, he's got a style all of his own. But that's how I got started. So I saw his flights, and I saw him doing this first-person view flights, and I said, wow, blew me away. I had to do it. So with that same quadcopter that I built for Francisco, I actually bought a camera, a little Fat Shark system, the teleporter, which was about $200 at the time. I think it's still about $200, and started playing with that. And the camera was horrible. The Pilot HD, it was horrible, laggy, completely laggy. I had a horrible time flying, but I enjoyed it. I loved it. Eventually, I bought a QAV250, and that QAV250 has morphed over time. I still fly a QAV250. That's one of my favorite frames. Let me show you here. Let me show you my little wall of quads. Here is my wall of quads. You can see I have my Lumineer QAV250. I have an Alien. This is originally a 4-inch frame, but I've actually put 5-inch arms on it. I have a Gorilla Drones Bullfrog 205. This was sent me by Javier. Gorilla Drones. Nice little frame. Shout out to Gorilla Drones. You can see Gorilla Drone. I've got my stickers identifying everything here. I have, these are my 4-inch arms and my PDB from my, and I think that's a Tornado from my Alien. The Alien now runs KISS flight controller, KISS ESCs. Most of my other quads run Rotor Geeks. The Bullfrog is running a KISS 18s. And before I get too far into that, then I have my aerial photography quad that I'm quite happy with. This is a Cinetank, Flying Cinema Cinetank. I quite like Cinetank. The Cinetank is a gimbal It's got internal hollow shafts on there, so it can turn freely. I've just put new motors, KDE. I think these are 2814s. Yeah, 2814s. And T-motor carbon fiber props on it. And over here, this is my Cinetank, Flying Cinema Tankito 30. And yeah. So anyway, coming back. Oh, and I've got my QAV250. I bought this for a gimbal quad, and never really liked it as a gimbal quad. The gimbal was always kind of problematic, but now it's warped into a mountain diving machine. And it weighs roughly around 800 grams with no battery. With battery, it weighs about 1.2, 1.3 kilos, and it moves along pretty well. I haven't really taken it mountain climbing, but that's the idea. Anyway, those are my quads. So let's talk about the QAV. This is a QAV250. You can see it here. Let me sit you down here. Okay. So this is the QAV250. You can see it. It's a pretty nice frame. I hope you can see it. It's light there, so you can really check it out. This, I bought the original QAV250 in June of 2014. Is when I bought it and built it out in July, and I've been flying this pretty much ever since. I like the frame. The reason I like the frame is it's low maintenance, and in some sense. It's fairly simple. There's 6 screws to take off the top plate, so it's very easy to get it off. I've got it set up so there's no power distribution board. As you can see, there's no power distribution board there. It's just flat on the bottom. I've got a small mini power distribution board in here. I'm not sure if you can see it with the light, so you can actually see this. There we go. So hopefully you can see this. Maybe not. Maybe I need to get it closer. I'm not sure. So here I've got a Luminaire mini power distribution board. I'm not sure if you can see that there. I just put a KISS flight controller on it. I was previously running a NAS 5. And a NASE, as they call it, NASE 32.5, and then it's got a Luminaire video transmitter, 200 milliwatt video transmitter, and an HS 1177 video camera, surveil some Foxy or whatever they call it now. I'm running Rotor Geek ESCs, the 20 amp ESCs. I'm running Cobra 2300 kV motors, the 2204 2300 kV motors, and GemFam 5050 tri-blade props, which are freaking awesome. They produce a lot of thrust, and somehow they don't overload the ESCs. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it works. And yeah, that's basically it. It's really simple. There's no extra things. I use a FreeSky S-Bus receiver, the XR4 SB S-Bus receiver. I use a voltage divider to send the voltage back, and it's basically a tank. It falls, I pick it up, and I fly it again. It falls, I pick it up, and I fly it. It falls, I pick it up, and I fly it. It's really low maintenance, and I really like that about this quad. It's probably one of my favorite quads. I fly that now quite a lot, especially now that I have the GoPro Session, since it fits on there. Nice and snug. I usually use this with 1.8 amp hour batteries. So fairly large batteries, but they provide a lot of thrust. They provide a lot of oomph for the motors and the ESCs to move these this high pitched 3-inch props. So that is basically what I wanted to talk about today. I'll talk about all my other quads later on, but I just wanted to talk about this quad and why I like it. How much does it weigh, you ask? Well, let me show you. Make room on my desk here. Just toss stuff out of the way. So there we go. Got my little scale here. 382 grams. So not the lightest frame in the world. It's got a 4 millimeter base plate on it. It's got now has a carbon fiber top plate, since I've gone through 2 of the G10 top plates quite recently. That's probably due to the larger battery and the load on the standoffs in the top plate. For racing, I usually change out the aluminum standoffs and I put nylon standoffs in there, and that cuts down the weight just a little bit more. For general use, I leave it as is, because I think this is the best trade-off between durability and weight savings. So yeah, and there you go. For now, this is kind of just my tank. I don't feel bad throwing it around. I don't feel bad diving down cliffs. As you've seen, that was done with the QAV250. And it's predictable. I know what it's going to do. I've been flying it for so long. It's just a nice frame. So there you go. Shout out, leave me a comment. If you like this, subscribe. Thanks.